Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Red Dead Online and we're bringing you another historical outfit guide. Today it's going to be for Buffalo Bill Cody, one of the famous, gunslingers and showmen of the Wild West. So before we get into the rest of the video, let's just have a little historical background information for this very interesting character. Buffalo Bill Cody earned his nickname by hunting and killing over 4,000 buffalo, and his status as an Old West legend was cemented with his traveling Wild West show. Who was Buffalo Bill Cody? Born near LeClaire in Scott County, Iowa in 1846, Buffalo Bill Cody rode on the Pony Express at the age of 14, fought in the American Civil War, served as a scout for the Army, and was already an Old West legend before mounting his famous Wild West show, which traveled the United States and Europe. Early life. Born near LeClaire in Scott County, Iowa on February 26, 1846, William F. Cody worked for a freight company as a messenger and wrangler before trying his luck as a prospector in the Pikes Peak Gold Rush in 1859. The next year, at age 14, Cody joined the Pony Express, fitting the bill for the advertised position. Skinny, expert riders willing to risk death daily. Buffalo Bill, the hero. Cody later served in the American Civil War, and in 1867 he began buffalo hunting to feed construction crews building railroads, which would give him the nickname that would define him forever. His own assessment puts the number of buffalo he killed at 4,280 in just over a year and a half. In 1868, Cody returned to his work for the Army as Chief of Scouts, and his ongoing work with the military garnered him the Congressional Medal of Honor in 1872, which was subsequently stripped and then reinstated, all the while becoming a national folk hero thanks to the dime novel exploits of his alter ego, Buffalo Bill. In late 1872, Cody went to Chicago to make his stage debut in the Scouts of the Prairie, one of Ned Buntline's original Wild West shows. Buntline was also the author of the Buffalo Bill novels. The next year, Wild Bill Hickok joined the show, and the troupe toured for 10 years. Beyond a Showman. In 1883, Cody founded his own show, Buffalo Bill's Wild West, a circus-like extravaganza that toured widely for 3 decades in the United States and later in Europe. Besides Buffalo Bill himself, the Wild West show starred sharpshooter Annie Oakley and, for one run, Chief Sitting Bull. Cody died on January 10th, 1917 in Denver, Colorado. A champion of women's rights and a lifelong soldier, Buffalo Bill Cody was more than just a Wild West showman and buffalo hunter, but his larger-than-life persona, at times real and at others fictitious, is what lives in the hearts and minds of fans of the Frontier West. So for the first weapon we're going to be looking at, out of the 3 that we'll be looking at today, we have Buffalo Bill's engraved 1873 Winchester. So obviously the gun that we're going to be using in the game is going to be the Lancaster repeater. We're going to give it all the upgrades. We're going to give it no wrap. I should say not all the upgrades because we don't want to scope on it. But then we're going to be doing a mesquite finish, varnish for the wood. And then I did Victorian engraving on just the frame. And I put the browned steel inlay in that. And then for the metals for the gun, I went with black and steel for the barrel, gold for the frame, brass for the hammer, lever, and trigger, and blued steel for the sight. And I think that matches the gun pretty dang good. So a little bit of information about the gun. Buffalo Bill Cody undoubtedly owned many guns during his lifetime. Several of them were presentation pieces, but those the showman actually used are the arms that stir the imagination. One such rifle is this 1873 Winchester lever action in .44 Winchester Central Fire caliber. Fitted with a standard 24-inch blued barrel, a deluxe pistol grip, and hand-checkered walnut stock and forearm, this rifle has an exquisitely engraved gold-plated receiver. So then the next gun we're going to be looking at is Buffalo Bill's Remington rolling block. This Remington No. 1 military-styled rifle is believed to have been given to Cody by the Remington family, with its low serial number of 3 and the gold-plated hammer and block with a fern-like design engraved into them, as well as the wrist of the stock. This .45-70 caliber, 35-inch long, 3-banded rifle bears more of a special presentation appearance than a martially issued arm. Another of the guns actually carried by Buffalo Bill, this .45-70, appears in the 1870s photo of him with it across his lap. So this gun that I've made up in the game is not a perfect match. The one that he had is an earlier model of the rolling block rifle, where it has the stock going basically the full length of the barrel and includes a ramrod yet. His obviously has no scope. Other than that, this is a pretty good representation of what his looked like. So I went with the mesquite finish and the short scope, since like I said, it wasn't supposed to have a scope, and then the metal that I did was as follows. Brown steel for the barrel, frame, and sight, and then brass for the trigger, hammer, and the block. Now, it says in the little thing that I read there that the hammer and block were both gold-plated, but in the photographs from the historical thing I looked at, they look a bit worn down, much more like brass, which is why I went with the brass. So you could do gold if you wanted to be a little bit fancier, but I think the brass looks pretty good. So the next gun we're going to be imitating is the least perfect out of all of these, and that is going to be his Remington 1858. So obviously we don't have that awesome gun in this game. The closest we can do is the Navy revolver, which is going to be the Colt 1851 Navy. They were from around the same time period and basically the two main competitors for most people looking for a gun at that time. The only other one in the competition was the Colt 1860 Army. But out of all these guns, Buffalo Bill liked the Remington 1858 the most, and that is the gun that he carried for the majority of his life before giving it away. Famous quote associated with that act said, "This old Remington revolver I carried and used for many years in Indian wars and buffalo killing, and it never failed me." This is the most eloquent tribute that could be paid by a craftsman to his favorite tool. No craftsman ever depended on hammer and saw as fervently as a plainsman on his sidearm. It is not known when Buffalo Bill Cody acquired this Civil War issue Remington New Army Model 44 percussion revolver, but he carried it and counted on it as a plainsman guiding America's frontier army during the Indian Wars. One of his commanders, General Eugene Carr of the 5th Cavalry, wrote of Cody that his eyes were better than a good field glass. His marksmanship was exceptional, and he was always in the right place at the right time. From 1868 through 1876, Buffalo Bill fought in 19 documented battles and skirmishes, more than all but a handful of soldiers. In the citation for the Medal of Honor awarded him for a fight in 1872, his commanding officer paid him the high compliment of suggesting that he need say no more than that Mr. Cody acted in his usual manner. Among other things, Captain Meinhold pointed out that Cody had led a charge on the Miniconjo camp from 50 yards, virtually point-blank range. He probably was leading the attack with his Remington New Model Army revolver. So basically, all of that just means Buffalo Bill stood by the Remington. With all that in mind, like I said, the closest we can come in the game is the Colt Navy revolver, so that's why I went with it. And his had ivory grips, but we don't have that, so I did pearl grips. And then the short barrel, improved rifling, improved sight. No engravings, no carvings, and all blackened steel for the entire makeup of the gun. And it looks pretty dang similar to the gun that he used in real life, other than the fact that this is a Colt and his was a Remington. So that is the firearms. Let's look at the outfit. So this is the outfit that I came up with for Buffalo Bill Cody, and honestly, it looks pretty dang good. So I based this off of that famous photo of him with the rifle over his shoulders, probably his famous Winchester, and I think this outfit looks arguably the best out of all the historical outfits I've done so far. A, because I had a nice photograph to work off of, and B, because there were actually really, really good items in the game that match his outfit pretty dang well. So, as far as facial hair and hair goes, I went with this style. It cost a gold bar, but it looks exactly like his does in the photograph for facial hair with the thick goatee and the curled mustache, and then long slicked back hair. Both of those I did with the salt and pepper gray because that's the type of hair that he had in the picture. So that's the appearance. Let's just go through the items that make up this outfit. So for the hat, I went with this dark brown variant of the Wallingford hat. I think it looks pretty dang close to the picture. I'm not sure if his is supposed to be dark brown, medium brown, or black. It's kind of hard to tell in old pictures like this, but I think this one looks pretty dang close to what it looks like. For the coat, I went with this yellowish, well, two-toned yellow and brown with the blue flowers variant of the Glenwood coat, and now this one can be obtained from Gus, the trapper, so you got to go to him to get it, and it costs 9 gold bars, but it's basically perfect. It matches the picture almost perfectly. So it has the blue flowers. His has blue flowers on it. It's got the right kind of yellowish tan tone to it, and it's got fringe all over it, just like his does. So this coat is basically perfect. It makes me wonder if Rockstar planned to make this coat look like this, because otherwise it was just a supernaturally weird coincidence. For the shirt, I went with this red variant of the frumpy shirt. Again, this looks almost exactly like his does in the picture, down to the little bib in the middle that has the white lines designed on it. It looks perfect for this outfit. So that's the shirt. For the gloves, I went with these light tan variant of the cavalry gloves. Again, they look almost exactly like the ones he wears in the picture. The only thing that isn't perfect is his are on the outside of his sleeves for his jacket in the picture that I'm basing this off of, and these ones automatically go to the inside. It's not perfect, but the gloves do look almost exactly like they do in the picture of him, so I think they work really, really well. For the weapon equipment, I went with the black sharpshooter gun belt, and that's because I think it matches his the most, and also because he was a sharpshooter, so it works on 2 levels. And this gun belt also looks really good with the outfit. So that's the weapon equipment. For the pants, I went with this light white and black variant of the Martindale pants. They match the ones that he's wearing in the photograph, again, almost perfectly, down to the little two-toned top part that kind of looks like simulated chaps. So these pants are the best option. I guess you could go with any light pants and they would look passably well, but these ones are definitely the best in my opinion. Then for the boots, I went with the plain black cavalry boots. He is wearing black cavalry boots in the picture I based it off of. The only difference is he's wearing much higher ones. The ones he has on in the photograph go to like midway up his thighs, so those are very, very tall boots. It'd be cool if we had those in the game, but we don't. But they are still cavalry boots, and they are plain black ones, so these ones look as close to those as we can. Then he does not appear to be wearing any spurs in the photograph, so I did not include any spurs. But I think you'll agree that this actually looks pretty dang good. It looks almost exactly like he does in the historical photograph. I was very, very happy with this outfit, and I think if you are trying to dress up as Buffalo Bill Cody, that you'll be pretty happy with it too, because like I said, it looks almost identical. So I have to think Rockstar had this outfit in mind when they designed at least the shirt and the jacket for this outfit, because the rest of the stuff works, but it doesn't look perfect. But the shirt and the jacket look exactly like his do in real life, or so close that it's eerie. But that is the outfit in its entirety. So that's where we're going to end the video today. I hope you liked it. I hope if you wanted to dress up like Buffalo Bill Cody that this was a good guide for you. Honestly, I think it turned out great. Like I said, it's arguably the best historical video I've made so far. I think it looks almost exactly like him, at least in the photograph that I was basing it off of. And it just looks really cool in general, too. So even if you weren't specifically trying to look like Buffalo Bill Cody, I think it still does a good job of just being a generically cool outfit. With all that in mind, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, I ask that you leave a like rating on the video. That way, you show me that it was a good video and you want to see maybe more like this, and you'll show other people that are trying to decide whether or not to watch it that it is good to watch. Plus, you'll help me in the algorithm, so it's definitely an action that pays in many ways. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, maybe things that you think I could have done better on this outfit, or what I like to see the most is suggestions or requests for things that you'd like to see me recreate in the future. I can't promise that I'll make a video, but if I'm able to make a good outfit, I definitely will. And I can promise that I'll try. So with all that in mind, the last thing to talk about is subscriptions. If you like my content and you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I definitely ask that you do so now. That way you can stay up to date on my content, which if you like this, you'll probably like that because my content is pretty consistent. And you'll also be helping me reach my subscriber goal. So with all that in mind, thanks for watching and have a nice day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you like this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.